What's up, everybody? Welcome to ETC Everything Cannabis. I'm Ife. What's going on? I'm here about to pack a bowl because I'm gonna smoke out of a bomb. All right. So, still representing Coastal Sun, my good friend Scott. Thank you, Scott. Still got some of this, so I'm gonna continue to smoke on it. It's gonna be gone by this week, so don't worry about it. Scott definitely blessed me. So this portion of ETC Everything Cannabis, Blaze Your Own Trail. We're going to be talking to Shane Nystrom. Okay, he's the lead field manager of Cannalysis. That's right. So when he comes in, he's going to be joining us soon. So Cannalysis is a cannabis company that helps you get your cannabis in compliance. We'll be talking more about that when he gets here. I'm just jamming right now a little. Yeah. Just vibing. The song's called Wake Up by Cupid Dion. So get yourself a little something to smoke. Waiting on Shane to come in. Gonna be talking to him soon. Hey Shane, I see you. What's going on? Hopefully you can join. Hey Amanda. How you doing?
We flip this around.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
What's going on? I'm at a bar right now, so if there's a lot of sound, just bear with me here.
No, it's okay. Where are you?
I'm at a bar called Hubble in Costa Mesa. I'm with actually a couple friends in the industry as well. So.
Okay, Costa Mesa. I have to come out there and see you guys. They're at a bar having a good time.
Come join.
I might have to drive over there real quick.
So what's going on?
Well, you know, just hanging out with you. Wanted to bring you on. Thanks for coming too. You know, I've been after you for a while now.
Oh, you know, yeah, I'm a busy guy, so I appreciate you, waiting, being patient with me.
Of course you are. Of course you are. So I got a little bong that I'm gonna hit. I never hit with bong, but
what are we hitting tonight?
Well, this is going to be Flow White by Coastal Sun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. My good friend, I had Scott on here. He got me some of this, and I've been smoking on it for like the last couple of weeks. It's been hard. I had a couple of them, so it's a hard. You know, hard to get rid of it. I'm like, oh my God, I got so much cannabis.
Gotta burn through it.
Oh, well, Shane, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
No worries. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you as well. I think it's really cool because, you know, Cannalysis, where you work at, is a really dope company. You know, it's geared to getting people in compliance that are on the way to, you know, sell their cannabis and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't really realize, like, you know, how important it is, you know, going forward if you're trying to put your product on the market, how important it is to get it tested right now. So tell us a little bit about that. Like how important is it right now to make sure that you are just really in sync with what you're trying to do? Because there's so many people growing, and if you don't get it right, then what is that crop going to do for you?
I mean, for sure. I mean, testing is such an important thing right now because, you know, like whenever you go to a dispensary, you want to trust your product at the end of the day. You know, you want to go in there, purchase something, you know, you don't want to have any questions about what you're buying. You know, when you go to a pharmacy or anything like that, all of that stuff's being tested as well, you know, by different labs, you know, just to ensure that it's safe for consumption. That's the exact same thing we do for cannabis. Like our testing's more rigorous than normal FDA studies that do on normal food that you see in a normal grocery store. What we do is to ensure that it's good to go because, you know, most of these products are being inhaled. It's going directly into your bloodstream, and to ensure that it's safe, like we take pride in that. We want to deliver, you know, honest results that people can rely on at the end of the day because, you know, this is something that a lot of people really enjoy, especially for like medicinal or, you know, just for fun purposes, you know.
Yeah, as well.
For sure.
Absolutely.
No, it's the most important thing. Like we're the last piece of the puzzle from seed to sale. Like you can't sell your stuff in a dispensary unless you come to a lab, you know, to like test out your product, and it's a big deal.
It is. It's a huge deal. Trust me. Definitely. So what is the process? What does one have to do for the process of like, take us through the process of getting it tested. Like I know there's certain steps, the THC, CBD, there's percentages, kind of take us through a little scenario.
So a lot of the brands that we work with, we recommend doing R&D testing beforehand to ensure that their product is safe before they actually send it to compliance status. Because, like a lot of these brands, cannabis is, their baby. It's their thing they've been working on for years and years and years. And if we could help them like learn about their product and ensure that it's safe before they send it to full compliance status, we're going to do that. So we always promote R&D testing on if they're sourcing from different sites or even if it's their own product.
Explain what R&D testing is for those that are not super familiar with it.
Yeah, so R&D testing is essentially you're able to choose the specific test types of, what you would like to test for a specific product. Like, say, for instance, you wanted to test a flower, just a straight bulk flower with us. We would ask them, hey, would you guys like to do R&D testing beforehand? And they could choose essentially which test types they would like to do, whether it's potency, pesticides, heavy metals, moisture content, mycotoxins, anything like that, essentially, just to ensure that it's safe, and clean for the customer, when they're actually going to sell it in the dispensary. R&D testing, essentially, you're just choosing which one you want to cater to. Sorry, I'm going to move over here. There's a little loud over here. So.
Sounds like they're having a good old time.
Oh, yeah, everyone's having fun over here, but I want to be able to focus in and talk to you. But yeah, R&D testing essentially is kind of just like a la carte. You choose, the test types that you want to do. We always recommend specific tests per, matrix type, whether it's a flower or concentrate. There's different ones that we recommend because, say, for instance, you have a concentrate, some sort of like distillate or something like that. And you want to test it before you go straight to compliance testing. I would recommend doing pesticides and heavy metals specifically because, when you concentrate it down, those pesticides and metals are going to be more concentrated in that actual product. So you'll be able to essentially see it a lot easier than you would be able to see it in the original flower or trim that it was made from.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I really like. He's like, yeah,
yeah.
It's pretty dope. That is pretty cool. And like with the testing, I know that they, like you said, they're testing for heavy metals and what and whatnot, which is perfect because who wants to smoke metals in your lungs? Yeah,
I mean, nobody wants that in their body. Like, no way. It's not. Like, that's like, it's so unhealthy. Sorry, I had to put my beer over. They didn't want me to have my beer outside over here, so I'm gonna walk back over now. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So what is considered like organic? There's so many people that are out here and they're growing and everything, and there's some people who are just like, yeah, I'm all organic and I don't put pesticides on my stuff and all that. And then there's others that are like, yeah, I'm organic, but kind of got a little pesticides going on. Like, how do you?
It's funny because like organic is such an interesting topic because it expands beyond just the cannabis industry. You'll go to a grocery store and people can claim it's organic, but at the end of the day, you don't really know unless you're the actual one there, using like applying the pesticides at the specific sites. So that's kind of where we come into it. Like, we will test the pesticides on all the different products to see if it even shows up in there. And what's funny is, when there will be pesticides that will show up in a soil, from many, many decades ago that's still within that soil. It'll stay within there over generations. And if you like start an outdoor grow, it's potential that it could like follow suit and still like be picked up through the roots when you're actually watering the plant. Same thing for heavy metals as well. Like, it's something that, maybe they're not using pesticides in that moment, when they're actually growing their flower, but it could be coming from previous years of whoever owned that land before then. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's like you said, it's in the soil. So if you're growing on a land that you just bought and you didn't know that the soil had those metals, had pesticides in it, then unless you get
something
the
that I
soil
recommend.
Tested, and it could be a little expensive,
yeah, exactly.
But, it's worth it.
Yeah, no, organic is like, it's such an interesting topic because it's, I can't ever confirm if something is truly organic. Like, we can test it for sure and we could show, hey, it's clean at the end of the day, but I never truly know if I'm at a dispensary, for instance, a lot of these brands won't post their COA on there, post their results. Like some places are awesome. They'll actually have like a little QR code on their product and you can scan it. It'll go directly to the test results.
And it shows you exactly what everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's something that I've been trying to like promote to more and more brands, is like to help educate the customer about what they're smoking. It's like
it's needed, because you don't know what you're putting in your body.
100%. Especially like, I mean, there's another state, Nevada. They require terpene testing for all of their products and to post their results so that, the customer is essentially knowing what they're smoking to essentially help them out with their entourage effect, and that's something that California currently doesn't do. Like there's a lot of brands that will test terpenes and post about it, but not everybody does, so that's something that I would like to eventually push for California specifically, so that, when we're, when we're buying products out there, like I want to know exactly what type of high I am trying to get.
Yeah, because sometimes they spray terpenes on your stuff. You don't know what you're getting,
Exactly.
A lot of perfumed cannabis.
It may smell good, but it may not be truly what that actual cannabis is. Yeah.
So is there ever when you're testing the THC and CBD, is there ever a percentage that's too high for THC when you're testing it before it goes out to stores, or too low?
Ooh, that's a good question. So no, like it's funny because every customer has like their expectations of where their product's going to come up as. There is not a lower or a higher limit to like what we can release for a COA. It could come up as, a low, teens or something like that. And it could come up in the 30s, when it comes up, beyond that, it gets a little hairy, because like, I feel like the actual product, the actual flower itself is becoming a different type of flower entirely. But
yeah, definitely. I agree with you, because after a while, the potency is like now we're getting over here to, you're trying to go to a whole different level.
We're talking like essentially like a genetically modified plant at that point. That's not like the original strain that it was. Yeah. So it's technically there is no lower limit to the potency that we can post, but most of the time, like I've never seen anything come lower than the teens anyways. Like just at this point, we're in California, like it's quality flower out here. So
has anything gone higher than like a 34%?
Yeah, no, I've seen it for sure. It's like with like Cannalysis, for instance, like we try to deliver as honest of results as possible. If anything comes up super high, we're going to throw it into a retest for confirmation measures, because, like a lot of the products that we see out there, you'll see stuff that comes up, at higher 30s. But, for us personally, we want to double check and make sure that it's actually at that percentage before we release results, because we want to deliver, honest COAs to our customers so that we can help them essentially grow their business and understand their personal grows, so that, they know exactly where that strain is testing at with, and then at the next cultivation harvest, they'll be able to compare results and see like if they're doing something right or wrong to essentially help their business out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. How did you come about working for Cannalysis?
For Cannalysis? It's a funny story. This is my first cannabis related job. I had worked in a lab, at my undergrad doing something completely unrelated, but I truly miss working in the research field. Like I really enjoyed doing what I did back then. It was a biophysics lab, completely different world. I don't want to go too deep into it.
Okay, no problem. You don't have to. No problem.
But I was essentially kind of like, after college, I was kind of like, didn't have too much direction personally. So I was working like at Starbucks for a long time. It was a pretty good gig that was just kind of like helping me establish, how to manage a team and learn customer service skills and all that. But in my heart of hearts, I was really missing working in that lab space. So I was just kind of looking around for jobs, randomly enough, and came across Cannalysis. Yeah. And I just applied there, and, they invited me to an interview, and like the team was amazing. Like they all were super just like, excited to just kind of talk about what they were doing. And we ended up just talking about like random stuff about like podcasts and stuff like that. But then they took me on a tour, and like I had this quick epiphany that I knew exactly this is where I was supposed to be in that moment in time. I'm like, oh, this is it. And like, luckily enough, they invited me to join like 2 weeks later, and here I am today. So
that's awesome. One of our our followers, Ben Familiar, is asking, how long have you been in cannabis testing specifically?
Specifically, it's been about 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah. So I'm still technically a little new to this industry. I'm doing my best to, integrate myself and, also respect everyone that's been in the industry for a long time. I understand that I'm a bit of a newcomer, but I want to take the time for people to get to know me and, that like prove that I mean business at the end of the day. So
yeah, it's like you gotta earn your stripes in this too.
It's true.
Like I've been told that too. It's like, hold on, slow down. You still have to earn and learn. You can't just have it right away. There's so many other people that were before you, And I was like, you know what, you're right, absolutely right. So yeah, definitely understand that too. So that's pretty cool. So how long do you see yourself working for Cannalysis?
Honestly, like I've been enjoying it up until this point. Like I want to keep going. I want to keep building this business. Like we have 2 labs right now. We have one in California. We have one in Oregon, and we'd like to continue to expand and deliver to other states. Like I see myself doing this for a long time. Like it's a lot of fun. Like it is challenging because every single customer has different expectations about their product because, they know their product inside and out, and I want to like learn about that. So, through this whole process, like I've kind of been like learning like the ins and outs of different companies and all of that. And, I feel like I'm in a perfect position to, continue to learn about new brands that are popping up as well as legacy brands that are coming around that are, showing their faces to like introducing themselves to me. Cause this industry, it's pretty small, like from my perspective, like for the years that I've been doing it, like it seems like the people that I come across, they all know each other. Whether they're up in Humboldt, whether they're in San Diego, everybody knows each other. And I want them to, slowly get to know me. Like, I don't want to throw myself out there and be like, oh no, I know everything, because it's not true. I'm learning every single day.
Me too.
It's never ending, and I love it.
It's never ending, never. And I'm always asking questions as much as I can.
You have to.
I'm like, so what's this? And how do you do this? And and everybody's like, dang, you just want to know everything I do.
That's the most fun part about it, because this industry, it's been around forever, but the legal side is new, and we're kind of like we're building the future for the next generations as we speak. Like it's one of my favorite things to be part of such a up and coming industry, especially when federalization eventually comes along our way. Like that's going to be a whole nother monster it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is going to be fun. The next generation is not going to have to go through what the past generation had to get it legalized. So, we hope that they're appreciative and they continue.
We can only hope.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's coming up in the future for Cannalysis? Do we have anything, like, are you guys opening up anything new in a new state that may have just legal besides the 2 that you're in right now, maybe like Jersey?
We are looking at other states. We're really focusing in on, the states that we're in right now, California and Oregon specifically, just to continue to grow that infrastructure. We are offering a couple new tests that weren't like offered a couple months ago. Like we're working on, it's called hop latent viroid. It's something that a lot of farms are experiencing and have been experiencing for a long time.
What's it called?
It's called the hop latent viroid. It's something that like, I don't know. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh yeah. So it's unfortunately very, very like it can easily spread very quickly when you're trimming your flower if you're not like properly sanitizing your trimmers. Okay. Like it happens to a lot of outdoor grows and indoor grows as well if you're sourcing from different nurseries. We've noticed that that we've just launched it last September, and a lot of farms have like recognized that this viroid has been spreading throughout their different farms. So we're helping them essentially identify the plants that have it, because essentially what it does is it stunts the plant itself, and it doesn't allow the flower to grow to its fullest potential, including like terpenes and potency. It's going to make it so that it's going to have a lower yield at the end of the day, so that it's, you're not going to be getting the fullest potential of that plant. So we've been helping like a lot of farms up in like Central Coast and Humboldt specifically identify, you know, plants that are contaminated so that they can remove it quickly so that it doesn't contaminate to other plants within their farm.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
It's very interesting to see like all the farms that have been having it show up in their crops, and I love that we can offer it as a service to our customers, you know, but the only downside is we don't have a cure to how to fix the plants. Like there are ways to do it, but it's not economical. So we help them identify the plants that are contaminated. They will essentially take it out of their farm so that, you know, it's not going to spread even further, so that they can make sure that that current crop is going to be healthy and yielding to the highest possibility of what it needs. So.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, because I've never even heard of that. That's going on. But I mean, the fact you could lose your whole entire crop that you're growing off of just, you know,
simply from the trimmers. Like it's spread through the biological material of the plants itself. Like you can literally trim one plant and move on to another plant, and it'll spread that quickly.
Because you did not clean your trimmer off. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Sanitize. Always clean.
Please. I can't highly express enough. Sanitize your trimmers, please.
It's like COVID of the plants.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not to put it out there, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm not going to take up too much time, because, you know, I like having cooking. I know you're out, but give us some advice that you would give to some of the people who are growing right now that have cannabis, that may not always be in, you know, I guess the spirit of getting their cannabis complied. Like, what type of advice would you give people that are in kind of like, or on the whim of like, should I do it or should I not?
If you have the infrastructure and the money to do it, I would say go for it. But it also depends on like your network as well. California is very network specific. And if you don't have that network, it's going to be a lot harder to essentially get started up and start selling your product. Like the one thing that I personally love doing is like going to networking events and getting to know people and, you know, learning about what they do. You know, like I think that's how we met. We met at one of the beach cleanups a couple months ago, you know, and like, I would say if you want to do it, like go for it, but just do your research. Always do your research at the end of the day, because, you know, it is a lot of investment, especially in California. Like some other states, are a little bit cheaper. California is a little bit more hardcore, and we want to ensure you want to ensure that you're good to go, you know, and you're willing to take that risk at the end of the day. So. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that good advice.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, just take your time, right? Well, I have a couple babies, and I'm working on right now. So we'll see how they go. You know?
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I was like, let me do this, because I've been wanting to do it. So I'm like, okay, let me try this out. And they've been looking pretty good. So.
Ooh. What strain are you growing?
I have Purple Punch, and then I have Venom OG.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so.
I'm excited for you.
The Venom OG is just like, bam. The Purple Punch is like, I'm taking my time. I'm coming.
You know what? Every strain grows a little differently, and you just got to love them all. So.
Yeah, I definitely do. Well, thank you so much for being here and joining us.
Thanks for inviting.
I had a good time to come back.
Oh, likewise.
Yeah, I know you're out there, so go enjoy yourself. Tell your friends I said hello. And
of course.
Hopefully we'll run into each other again soon.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to any of the beach cleanups, you'll see me there. So.
Okay, I'll be at the next one, so for sure.
All right, well then we'll make sure to come and say hi while I'm there.
Okay, I definitely will.
Cool.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you. Take it easy.
You too. Have a good evening.
You too. All right, bye.
Bye.